That's crazy.
I'm not a fan of him lyrically or acting-wise.
Really?
Put hands on you, give you real black eyes. Come on, don't do that. And that's the truth. You could trust. I've had about enough of your shit.
Who is this?
Aries Spears.
Oh, that dude?
Yeah. He said there's nothing
Is he a comedian?
Yeah.
Because he ain't never made me laugh, so I don't know if he a comedian.
You know you messed up when Ice Cube, yes, the man behind No Vaseline, pauses his billionaire grind just to throw shade your way. But Aries Spears, he didn't stop at Ice Cube. He trashed his acting, his music, everything he built. On Big Boy's Neighborhood, Aries straight up called Cube garbage, not just as a rapper, but as an actor too. Cube wasn't having it. He fired back, calling Aries irrelevant, unfunny, and nowhere near the top 10 of black comedians. And then, of course, 50 Cent caught wind of it. And you already know if there's one thing 50 lives for, it's clowning someone who's already taking L's. It all started casual. Big Boy brought up a classic barbershop convo, rapper rankings, GOAT lists, you know the drill. But Aries, he flipped the table. When Ice Cube's name came up, Aries didn't hesitate.
Ice Cube is a motherfucking lyricist.
I can't stand Ice Cube.
That's crazy.
I'm not a fan of him lyrically or acting-wise.
Really?
He's the same.
How much time we got left here? Because should I just tell him to leave now?
Let me tell you something.
You know you messed up when Ice Cube, yes, the man behind No Vaseline, pauses his billionaire grind just to throw shade your way. But Aries Spears, he didn't stop at Ice Cube. He trashed his acting, his music, everything he built. On Big Boy's Neighborhood, Aries straight up called Cube garbage, not just as a rapper, but as an actor too. Cube wasn't having it. He fired back, calling Aries irrelevant, unfunny, and nowhere near the top 10 of black comedians. And then, of course, 50 Cent caught wind of it. And you already know if there's one thing 50 lives for, it's clowning someone who's already taking L's. It all started casual. Big Boy brought up a classic barbershop convo, rapper rankings, GOAT lists, you know the drill. But Aries, he flipped the table. When Ice Cube's name came up, Aries didn't hesitate.
Not the greatest lyricist. He was energy. He was passion. He made you feel him. If that said, tear the club up, you wanted to tear the club up. Dear mama, you wanted to hug your mama. When you think about lyricism, Nas, Jay-Z, Biggie, Jadakiss, my lyrics, spitter.
He didn't just fire shots, he threw the whole coast under the bus. That's how you get blackballed in these streets. And the wildest part, Aries knew what he was doing. He even broke the fourth wall and looked right into the camera like he wanted smoke.
Watch the comments. Now, when people talk about, you ask anybody, no matter where their region, you know, give me a top 5 rappers. Pac's usually always in that list.
Right.
I don't ever put Pac up there with the top rappers.
The backlash. And Cube, he's not the one. He's a legend, not just in rap, but in business. From penning lyrics for NWA to dropping one of the deadliest diss tracks ever made. From creating Friday to launching the Big 3 basketball league, Cube has receipts everywhere. But Aries, he wasn't done. Even after fans dragged him and legends clowned him, he popped up on Vlad. Still talking reckless.
I saw a comedian speaking kind of bad about you, man.
Who is this?
Aries Spears.
Oh, that dude?
Yeah. He said there's nothing
Is he a comedian? Because he ain't never made me laugh, so I don't know if he a comedian.
But here's what Aries didn't clock. This wasn't about Cube anymore. Somewhere in a luxury suite, sipping on something top shelf, 50 Cent was watching this whole train wreck unfold. And guess what? Aries had some words for him too.
What'd he say?
He said it was nothing about you impresses him. From movies to rapping, nothing at all impresses him. I'm like, wow, like what?
Suckers usually don't like me. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that you know, they usually don't like me when they coming from that angle. That's cool though. You know, everybody got their opinion, and they all stink. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's cool. You know, he entitled to his opinion. It's the feeling is mutual. You know, I don't think he on anybody's list of top 10 comedians. You know what I mean? In the black community for sure. I don't even know if he's on the register with us.
Cube knew. But why would 50 even care? Man's got shows to run, Power, BMF, he's got his hands in liquor, film, TV, and a whole tour schedule. But this clip, it landed directly on his timeline, because people forget 50 and Cube go way back with mutual respect. Cube gave 50 props on his movie game long before Hollywood did, and 50, you always return the love, giving Cube his flowers every chance he got.
You had some words about Ice Cube recently.
You know, Willie D called me.
Okay.
I was in Louisville, Kentucky, and this, I love Willie D, that's my man, but this called me like I disrespected his mama.
He was like, Aries, man, you don't understand what Ice Cube done did for the culture, man, and hip hop. Why you say? And I go, Willie, it's a subjective opinion. I'm allowed to not like Ice Cube. I know, man.
Apparently, mocking Cube once wasn't enough.
You don't like anything Ice Cube's done?
Nothing. Ice Cube does nothing for me as a rapper and an actor.
Okay.
Nothing.
Let's start with the rap. The Police. You don't think that's a classic song?
It's classic because of what it represents in terms of black struggle symbolism and what black people have gone through with the police historically. It's the song that makes you go, yeah. I get how it can touch your emotions, but it don't do nothing for me.
But here's what—
And Aries is the exact kind of comic that gets under 50's skin. Loud, abrasive, but with nothing recent to flex. That's 50's favorite type to roast, so he let it rip. Check my temperature. I'm ice cold. The hood left the left side of my chest froze. You need help with bills. I'll write you a referral. Might even get you a love contract. Ouch. And that's when Aries started spiraling, going off on this emotional rant against Cube.
What do you think about 50 Cent's acting ability overall?
This is what I think about it. He did a movie.
Listen to this.
But hold on.
And this is where the whole thing fell apart. Aries tried to backpedal in the same breath. He trashed Cube and said he respected it.
Ice Cube was on when I'm just watching. Music.
And
all of it.
Movies, all of it.
Yeah. I never really seen Ice Cube in films that weren't his. You know, like he kind of produced the vehicle that he was in, and it wasn't like he was just being an actor in someone else's film.
Aries—
That's not an opinion, that's a contradiction. And the internet didn't let it slide. People dragged him not for having a take, but for flipping and playing the victim when he got the same smoke he dished out. One comment said, "You can't talk spicy and then cry when someone claps back." Another read, "You can have your opinion, but after that skit, you're not valid." Ice Cube's a made man, but then came the knockout. Someone dug into his past, and suddenly, this wasn't about beef anymore. Let's talk about that Tiffany Haddish lawsuit. Back in 2022, Aries and Tiffany were hit with a disturbing case, allegations of grooming. The sketch at the center, a so-called comedy bit where a child is left alone with a creepy character played by Aries, and the camera didn't just suggest, it lingered. Way too long.
Poster child for the world's biggest hater. If you look up the word hate, it's my picture. When did we get to a point where unless your opinion, and last time I checked as human beings, we're all allowed to opinions. At what point does it get to where unless your opinion is favorable about a person or a thing and goes with the flow of everyone else, you're a hater? I don't understand that.
And he didn't stop there. He's hurt from what Cube said about him.
Somebody sent me a clip where Ice Cube responded. He was on a radio show and the dude played him a snippet. And the first thing Ice Cube says is, well, most suckers don't like me. Then he goes on to say, I never heard of this dude. Then he finishes by saying, well, he's just not funny. Well, you can't have it both ways. If you don't know who I am, how do you know if I'm funny or not? So you can't have it both ways.
The backlash instant Twitter blew up. Even the Shade Room posted the clip and it was ugly. Even though the case was later settled and the video scrubbed clean from the internet, that stain on Aries' name never came out. And what did he do next? You guessed it, he ran straight back to VladTV.
And for the record, I respect Ice Cube, the man. I respect Ice Cube in terms of what he's brought to the game. He's one of the pioneers, so hats off to him for that.
But also, he doesn't think Ice Cube's ever done anything impressive, ever.
I just said I wasn't a fan of his artistry. I never attacked him as a man. I never attacked him in terms of his character. I said I wasn't a fan of his artistry. Why am I not allowed to feel that way? Why is that? And then secondly, it's always funny, people call me a hater because they love to highlight when I say I don't like something, as though I don't have love for anything.
That's not—
People couldn't help but notice Aries Spears was popping up on Vlad more than Vlad himself. Always venting about getting blackballed, going on rants about how he should be on Kevin Hart's level. It turned into a pattern and fans. They caught on quick. Aries was doing more talking than working. His name only showed up in mess, never for his comedy. No movie roles, no major sets, just drama clips, spicy takes, and old stories he kept recycling. But that wasn't the whole picture. Aries also had a rep in the industry. Multiple former castmates have gone on record saying he was hard to work with, always had an ego, always trying to outshine everyone in the room.
Oh yes, Uncle Pete. Can you watch TJ for me? I need to run to the I gotta run some errands. I need to go to cleaners, and I should be coming back. Okay?
All right, baby.
Thank you.
And it got worse after that.
Look, nobody's saying he's not talented. Aries can do killer impressions. He knows how to work a crowd, but he never had that Chappelle-level breakout, and that kind of bitterness, it eats at you. Now flip the script. Why did this whole beef blow up in Aries' face? Because when you come for Ice Cube, you're not just dissing a rapper, you're coming for a whole institution in black culture. Let's run the receipts.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so she doesn't hold anything against you in terms of...
I mean, you know, she
participated in the whole thing, so it's not like she could, but I'm just saying, you know how people get.
Yeah, we could.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there going to be a point where you could talk about this?
You know, I told you, when that point comes, you know, you're going to pay.
Your equation will never be satisfied. Why? Because some other will come along that'll take and blow the world up, and you'll want to be that. And then some other will come around and have as talented as you, or possibly more, and then you're going to get upset because again, you focus on everything that is not you.
Hold up.
Everything you want,
wait a minute,
but not what's in your present space.
He's talented.
No Vaseline still ranks as one of the top 3 diss tracks ever. Friday isn't just a movie, it's a cultural cornerstone. It launched a franchise, gave us legendary characters, and became a rite of passage in the black community. The Big Three. LeagueTV built that from the ground up, a full-on basketball league now backed by big-time investors and legit NBA legends. And long before all that, he was penning bars for Easy Dre, Ren writing NWA classics before he even hit his 20s. Meanwhile, Aries Spears' biggest cultural contributions, a few standout skits on MAD-TV, and some okay stand-up sets. Now, he's best known for flaming Cube on a podcast and going viral for all the wrong reasons. That's why the fans didn't hesitate. They backed Cube immediately, and here's the final nail. Fans started speculating after Ice Cube dropped a teaser cast list for the long-awaited Final Friday movie. One name was very obviously missing: Aries Spears. Now, maybe Aries was never even in the running, but the timing, too perfect. Fans were convinced Cube was sending a crystal clear message. Doesn't matter how many voices you can mimic, you can't respect the culture. You're not getting a seat at the table. Aries wanted to go viral, and he did, but not for the jokes. Now he's trending because 2 icons called him a nobody, and nobody disagreed.